Hello everyone, my name is Adam Culver and this is my oral presentation for Foundations in Emergency Management. As we all know, disasters can happen at a moment's notice. Events such as earthquakes, tornadoes, and technological disasters can be nearly impossible to predict. When events like these happen, people have very little time to react. Disasters often disrupt services such as power, water, and communications. For people with special needs, these can cause life-threatening problems. That's why it is crucial to place an emphasis on disabled people when it comes to disaster management. For my oral presentation, I will be discussing the issues that special needs groups face during disasters, as well as the protocols and guidelines currently in place to assist them. To begin, it's important to remember that people with special needs are one of our society's most vulnerable groups of people. But the question becomes, what exactly does it mean to be disabled? Well, the federal government defines special needs under the Americans with Disabilities Act, which states a disabled person has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. That definition covers a wide variety of medical conditions and means that emergency management teams have to take every possibility into consideration. The way I like to think about it is that there's two groups of disabled people. They are dependent and independent. When disasters strike, it's crucial that responders make sure that the people who are most dependent are taken care of first. People who require things like machines, things like respirators and life support are the top priority. In events such as hurricanes, these people should be evacuated far in advance. But in events with no warnings, like an earthquake, first responders must deal with them first. Places like hospitals and nursing homes require a swift response, as individuals with severe conditions may only have minutes to survive. While dependent disabled people are important, you might be asking yourself, what about all the people what about people with special needs who are independent? What about the people who live at home, who might be legally blind, be bound to a wheelchair, or might have a mild intellectual disability? Well, there's no single blanket answer or protocol. Every disabled person has their own unique set of needs and capabilities. That's why the American Red Cross made a booklet called Preparing for Disasters for People with Disabilities and Other Special Needs. In this book, it explains how people with disabilities should complete a personal assessment. Through a series of questions, the book helps people with disabilities identify their capabilities and limitations. Through this, disabled people become more aware of their needs and can make plans in case of disaster. Some highlights from this section include making a communications plan, establishing an out-of-town contact, as well as preparing a personal disaster kit, making sure to include things like medicine and medical aids. To summarize my presentation, disabled people with special needs are one of the top priorities when it comes to a disaster situation. Disabled people essentially fall into two separate categories: those who are dependent and those who are independent. Dependent people are those who depend on machines and direct care of others to survive. Their conditions are fragile, which is why emergency managers must respond to them first. Independent people are individuals who can live on their own, but they may require assistance with a few things. They could still be in danger in the event of a disaster. For them, it's essential that they complete a personal assessment. By doing this, it allows them to identify their limitations and make plans to ensure their safety during a disaster event. And now, here's my works cited page and a selfie I included for the photo evidence. Thank you.